Gandeal and Suge Knight are teaming up to expose Diddy's crimes. In a shocking revelation, Gandeal claims Diddy has been working as an FBI informant for years, secretly feeding them intel while covering up his alleged role in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Not only that, but Gandeal is being targeted for what he said and was just attacked by Diddy's supporters. Things are getting serious and Gandeal's life is in danger.
Right there.
And I got a lot of respect for you, Suge. Suge, I got so much respect for you, bro, because when this East Coast, West Coast walk could have been shut down. You got? That was even after Jake was. You said, brother, I don't know any problems you got.
Suge Knight and Gandeal are the only people in the industry who know what happened on the night of Tupac's. Suge was in the car when Tupac was shot and Gene was allegedly with Diddy when the crime was being planned. On September 29, 2023, nearly 27 years after the murder of Tupac Shakur, Dwayne "Keffa" Davis was charged with for his involvement in the drive by Tupac. Now, Keefe D has filed court papers in a Nevada court claiming that Diddy was actually the person responsible for Tupac's death as he paid key to him. Keefe says that Eric Von Zip Martin was the middleman for the transaction, and Diddy actually wanted both Tupac and Suge Knight dead during the Biggie
Smalls investigation in the early 2000s. The filing reads, the three LAPD and FBI agents were part of a task force to solve the shooting of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, legal name Christopher Wallace. The task force, through a sophisticated criminal investigation, obtained sufficient evidence that would prove Mr. Davis was the leader of the Southside Crips and his gang was responsible for over 360 kilos of cocaine and PCP. Mr. Davis provided 3 interviews to obtain immunity from prosecution. The final interview were solely questions regarding the Tupac Shakur shooting, which Mr. Davis was also provided immunity from prosecution. So during a December 2008 interview with investigators, that is when Davis allegedly started to spill the beans about his one-time friend, Sean Combs, who he refers to as Puffy. He claims Sean Puffy Combs solicited Mr. Davis to kill Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur for $1 million. Eric Zip Martin, an associate of Puffy Combs, provided Mr. Davis with a gun to exact revenge on Tupac Shakur for the beating Mr. Anderson received. Now, Davis reportedly told the investigators that even though the job had been partially completed and Shakur was killed, neither he nor Anderson ever got paid. He later revealed that he believes Combs had paid the go-between Zip Martin, who he claims kept the money for himself. And he said much of the same thing in a 2009 interview a year later, because according to the motion to dismiss, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, as far back as 2009, was in possession of the same set of facts that the Clark County District Attorney is now alleging makes Mr. Davis responsible for the Tupac Shakur. The Clark County District Attorney's Office has offered no reason as to why it waited another 14 years to prosecute a case against Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis has been irreversibly prejudiced by this unnecessary delay in prosecution of this case, and Mr. Davis's constitutional rights have been violated in an extraordinary manner never before witnessed in the annals of the American criminal justice.
Days after making the claim that Diddy was involved in the of Tupac, Keffe D was attacked in prison. Is it really a coincidence that the second Kef names did Diddy? He randomly gets attacked.
We have an update now on Dwayne Keffe D. Davis. He's charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was in court again this morning after a fight with another inmate. Fox 5's Mike Allen walks us through what happened.
Dwayne Davis is answering for a jailhouse brawl. Here's what court records show, along with images from surveillance video released by Las Vegas Justice Court. On December 23rd, Davis was being escorted back into his cell when another inmate, Rockland Hamilton, who's also facing a charge, is standing to the right by a sink in this room. Hamilton walked over to Davis and squared up, looking ready to fight. They started throwing punches and grappling, and the officer escorting Davis called for backup, gave verbal commands too for the inmates to stop fighting, and then hit them with pepper spray. Before backup officers arrived, the two inmates kept grappling and throwing punches and were eventually separated after backup officers got into the room. Both Davis and Hamilton face battery by prisoner charges.
Suge is the only one who really knows what happened that night, and he says that Puffy was involved in the murder. Gene Deal has said the exact same thing and backed up Suge. Even the cops knew that Puffy was involved, but Puffy never got indicted since he was leaking secrets to the feds. Diddy has been an informant for decades now. Everyone in the streets knew what kind of person Diddy was.
That caught my attention. You said that Suge, he's the only one who knows who killed Tupac. Why you say that?
Suge was there. Suge was there, and even though you in a hostile situation and you've been and guns is firing out, you're going to get that glance and that look at the individuals or the people in the car. Like Keffe D said, I spoke to Suge. We know each other from school. So in that time, as you speaking to somebody, you see who is in the car. You see who's in car. Now check this out. If they know each other and the windows is down and they spoke to each other, you don't think Suge don't know who did the shooting or who was in there? He said, I'll never say it, because to him, he'll be a rat.
Allegedly, Diddy didn't act alone in ordering the hit on Tupac. He used someone inside Death Row Records, a traitor, someone close enough to know Tupac and Suge Knight's movements, someone who blended in with the very people Tupac trusted. This double agent allegedly helped coordinate the hit by feeding information when Tupac would be in Vegas, what car he'd be in, and who would be with him.
The shooter, the person who shot Tupac, did you get to see their face? And was this a person?
There's no secrets.
Testified that he saw, and he was overworked, and that he saw things that just didn't make sense, and that he had to run down on Suge Knight, or would have if Suge Knight would have actually been there.
I was thinking about that. If all of this stuff is true, Suge Knight ain't had nothing on Diddy.
What you mean?
You think so, or
Suge
do
Knight
we
has
just not?
always been known as the boogeyman of hip hop. But if all of this stuff is true, Suge ain't had nothing on Diddy.
Oh, you mean as far as the type of person they are?
Being a boogeyman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like Bad Boy was Bad Boy.
The FBI really wanted, they could have sent Diddy behind bars anytime they decided. Keep in mind that Diddy was revealing illegal details on live TV. The feds have a 98% conviction rate, and more than 30 witnesses testified against him. Diddy never even testified, yet he still beat all the serious charges. This conviction is just for show. Diddy is going to get away with everything, and he knows it.
If the answer was there, how could you not say they don't want to see Puffy get life? The FBI is the most powerful people in the world. They're the government. They have great prosecution people. Look at the prosecution rate. I think it's maybe 92, 98%. If you was just looking at it, you wouldn't think the prosecutors, as great as they are, that they was really trying to get this man off the street. But it's still, if I was Puffy, I would take some time and got out the way. Because if he go in there and do a little time, he was going to feel he paid some debt to society. He'll start off where he left. If he get no time, the street's going to know the deal's been cut. If you get no time, nobody in the industry is going to f with it. It's going to be a bad problem for him because Puffy got to have security 24 hours a day. And I Puffy can get out of jail and start his own car and drive around and live life. He without security, he know he ain't on time. So he had to have security. And without drugs, see, he probably wouldn't be able to have a conversation with nobody. He probably wouldn't be able to look nobody in the eye. He probably wouldn't even be able to bag a bitch.
Diddy knows too much. Every secret, every whisper, and every rumor. Diddy and other elites in hip-hop have been controlling the narrative for way too long. These elites wanted to get rid of Diddy, and that's why Diddy was arrested. The only reason Diddy was able to get away was because he had worked as a criminal informant and the feds needed him.
Is Diddy at a level of being untouchable where he's protected, or is Diddy a target that they'll eventually put all the blame on him and make sure they get away with it free?
I mean, he's definitely going to be the black motherfucker in the bag. Because you gotta realize one thing. That boy life is dangerous. His life is and he's just not dangerous with the shit they said he's doing, but he's in danger. He know too much. One thing you gotta realize is he probably having a conversation right now with the higher ups and everybody else to figure out how it's gonna work itself out. Because he know all the secrets. And if he get to run his mouth, it could be a bad look. I look at it like the most important thing is the industry need to be built over. You have all these executives that's somebody with their father or their grandfather or all these type of stuff, and they don't give people the opportunity to grow and learn. I know when I first started in this business, it wasn't a machine. I had to be the machine. I had to figure out how to get my songs on the radio. Because at that time, they was getting 5%, and they got 10%. It was popping champagne bottles. I went from 95% of the songs you hear on the radio was my songs into 97%. So you had to really do all this thing and really do the work. And once the
Ian Deal has been exposing Diddy's lies for years now. And Diddy has finally had enough. He's not going to risk jail a second time, and he's going to silence Gene one way or the other. Just days ago, Gene was attacked by Diddy's supporters, and allegedly, this is only the beginning. In a recent video, Gene even said that Diddy had sent men after him and wanted him gone.
I'm not the type of dude that you can come up on like
Bro, listen, we out here
what kind of content?
You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me.
Bro, listen.
If you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the f out.
That's what I said. You gonna do what?
That's what I said.
That's what I say. No, bro, shit.
It came to light for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. Because I was having meetings with serious dudes in the street. And he refused to sit down. So what did he do? He tell his security team. He didn't tell the NYPD officers. He didn't tell the Department of Correction officers. He didn't tell none of the parole officers or anybody he had working for him that was officers. He told street dudes who had did dirt in the street. When y'all see Gene, y'all do him dirty. Y'all beat him up. He ain't tell him to beat me up. What I look like getting beat up? What a grown man look like? Somebody smacking him around, hitting him and all this shit like that. I ain't taking no ass whooping. I ain't took an ass whooping since the fucking doctor spanked me on my fucking ass. I ain't took an ass whooping since my mom and my daddy. When they stopped taking it, I guess I'm got amnesia. I don't know what an ass whooping look like or feel like. What do you look like telling somebody to whoop my ass? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep. He knew where I was at.
Gene isn't the kind of man to back down from a fight. And unlike Diddy, he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Gene has been speaking out about Diddy's crimes for years. If it was really that easy to scare him, he would have stopped a long time ago. Gene has said multiple times that he doesn't care what happens to him as long as he goes out speaking the truth. You can't silence a guy who isn't afraid of death.
He say, yo, you got questions to answer. And for who? I said, if you want me to answer questions, do interview. I got a booking number. Ben, you do interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't going to tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And that's all I'm going to say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. And so I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera, and then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, you know, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do, you choose to do that.